Silly sandworms. Oh, how's it going? I am Zach Wilson, and this is not light properly. God bless it. Why is this? Because my dad refrigerated it. Anyway, one quick second. Anyway, I'm Zach Wilson. Welcome to Furry Fridays, Book Edition. This isn't working out as well as I thought it would. God damn it. We've gotten to it now that I probably edited it up to this point. Hi, welcome back to Furry Fridays. My pipe is not working for some unknown reason, probably because I just didn't pack the damn thing right. I'll have to finish this later. Anyway, Andy, you brought up book series, and I fucking hate you for it. Because that's hard. Like Steve, Andy, Scott, I'm assuming. I love books. Yeah, it's better than nothing. I really love reading books. When I grew up, my dad would read me every night, and about once a week I'd go to the library. And unlike other kindergartners who got storybooks, I picked up books about science. Like, I remember my library had like this the series about all the 9 planets. Yes, Pluto's still a planet. God damn it, I will not back down from that theory. You can't take away my childhood. Anyway, so that's what I do. I'd basically get books about science and the planets, and I'd learn all sorts of scientific stuff that I just thought was the coolest shit ever. And then, of course, then I actually started reading proper book series. Now, when you say favorite series, that's hard for me because that kind of boils it down to 3 main book series I read. So, one more time. So, the first book series I love is the Myst book series. If you don't know what Myst is, it was a fantastic point-and-click adventure game that came out, I think, 1991. And the whole idea about Myst is there's this race of people known as the Dunny. And the Dunny, what they did is they could basically craft these things called linking books. And what linking books did is, using the art of the Dunny, you basically sculpt and write about this world using key sentences. And when you were done writing about this world, when you flip to the first page of the linking book, there's a thing called the viewer that's pretty much, imagine like a miniature TV screen that shows you the age you created. And what you would do is you would take your linking book, flip up into the first page, and you put your hand down. And once your hand was over that image, you would teleport into that age. The trick about that is whenever you go to an age, your linking book would just drop right where you linked in. So unless you had a linking book back to the age you came from, or let's say if you came from Dunny, if you did not have a linking book that linked you back to Dunny, you were trapped in that age unless you had a friend, who went in with you. So that's why you always had to bring linking books with you. But pretty much the book series fills in the gaps between the games, because Myst is a series of 5 games. Well, technically 6. Technically 6 games when you count Uru. And the first book, Myst, which is a book of Atreus, kind of is the prologue to the first game, where Atreus is being brought up by his father Gen, who is the main villain of Riven, which is the second Myst game. And it's kind of, again, taking Atreus to the realm of Riven, where he falls in love with his future wife, Catherine, and how the two of them basically plan to escape Riven and trap Gen there. So it kind of sets up everything for the first game, where you kind of see the relationship between Atreus and Catherine. The book actually ends where the first game begins, with Atreus talking about how when he and Catherine escapes through the starfish, or how he hopes that his linking book to Myst will survive and hopefully no one will find it, which kind of sets things up for the first game. And then the second book, Book of Tiana, is the prologue to the entire series. It shows Tiana, which is Atreus' mother, and Atreus' mother, Gen's wife, pretty much. It explains of how she found the Dunny civilization, how she... I'm sorry, not Gin's mother, it's Atreus' grandmother. Jeez, long day for me. Kind of explains how she found the Dunny culture, married Atreus' grandfather, and kind of untimely brought an end to the entire Dunny civilization by basically begging them to give forgiveness to this one criminal mastermind who already said, I'm going to kill all the Dunny. And says, well, please, spare his life. Lock him away. Don't kill him. So they don't kill him, and next thing you know, he releases poison gas and wipes out the entire Dunny civilization. And then the third book is Book of the Dunny, which serves as a bridge between Riven and Mist 3 Exile, in which that sets up how Atreus is in the process of trying to create Releashon, which is going to be his own work, so the Dunny can have a home once more. And it's a story about him trying to figure out how he wants to create this, and he finds another age and visits there, and shit goes down, and it's really good book series. Other than that, I love Ian Fleming's Bond books. I'm a huge James Bond fan, and it was an absolute joy for me last year to actually start reading the book series. And after reading the book series, it's astonishing how different the books are from the movies. Key differences such as Felix Leiter, Bond's CIA agent friend, appears in almost every single book. I think I've learned about 5 of them, and the cool thing about it is, in the book series, he has a hook for his right hand, which I'm assuming he loses in Live and Let Die. Unlike the Felix Leiter in the movies, where he still has his hands normally. But it's just Bond's a bit more rugged. He's still sophisticated, but the books are completely different from the movies. Like Moonraker's plot involves Bond overseeing Drax's operation, because Drax is actually building an ICBM, Intercontinental Ballistic ballistic missile, as NATO's kind of warhead. But Drax eventually plans, well, I'm going to launch it on Britain because I'm going to get my sweet revenge after World War II. Unlike the movie where, don't you dare do that. Oh, come on. Unlike the movie Moonraker, where it's a space station that's comprised of 7 Moonraker shuttles, and Drax's plan is to basically eradicate all life on Earth and have each basically create the perfect human race, kind of like Adolf Hitler, or Adolf said, only males with blonde hair and blue eyes are the dominant species. I'll make sure this is how it is. That's pretty much Drax's plan. Has the perfect male, the perfect female. Has 7 shuttles of these perfect humans in his eyes, and he basically unleashes a formula to kill off the civilization. But just really, really good, and that's my second favorite book series. Third favorite book series is the series of Unfortunate Events. Series I read when I was a kid, and I've read all 13 books. Lemony Snicket, you are my hero. That's why it's so hard for me, because the series of Unfortunate Events, great characters. Olaf is a fantastic villain. 13 books long. It's just perfect. So when you ask me what is my favorite book series, you can tell my passion lies within the Mist series, the Bond series, and then a series of Unfortunate Events. And as far as my favorite book goes, that's also a hard one for me, because within each of those series, I've got my favorite book. Like in the Mist series, I love Book of Tiana because it sets up everything that shows the fall of the proud Dunny civilization, something that's never really talked about in the Mist games. For 007, currently for me right now, my favorite book would have to be what was going to be the last series before he decided to write Man with the Golden Gun, which was going to be You Only Live Twice, which fleshes out Bond more of a human listing, and he figures, if I'm going to die on the suicide mission, at least I'm taking Blofeld with me. Masterpiece. And then as far as a series of Unfortunate Events, man, it's actually a hard one. I want to say probably book 4 with the Lumberyard is probably my favorite out of that one, which I honestly want to see in movie form, because I've got to say Jim Carrey was a fantastic Olaf. But as far as offshoot book goes, that's like a solo book, not counting series, then my favorite would have to be the short story entitled I Have No Mouth and Therefore I Cannot Scream. I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, which is a really twisted, dark sci-fi book that takes place in the future, in which a diabolical computer pretty much became self-aware, launched nuclear missiles, and basically eradicated all human life except for 6 unlucky bastards. And it's these 6 unlucky bastards, basically he gives them immortality, saying, "You will not die on my watch. I'm going to subject you through torture. You do not need food. I'm going to make you suffer as much as you can possibly handle it." And even if they die, if they were to die, he resurrects them like that. It's a sick and twisted book with an ending. The main character's fate is it is a lot worse than death, and it's even worse than being kept alive, because the end of the book, the computer, this is spoilers, but how the book ends is the main character finds a way to kill the other 5 so they can be free. And before he has a chance to off himself, the computer stops him and turns him into this gelatinous blob that has no mouth. It's a slug, cannot possibly kill himself in any way, shape, or form, and he's a permanent slave to the computer. And it is horrendous. It really dark and fucked up way to end a book, but it's beautiful. So that's my favorite book series, my favorite book. Can't wait to see what you guys pull from me next week. Next week I will be back in Florida. Time of recording is Thursday at 9:27. I'm going to be with family a good chunk of the day tomorrow on Friday when this video is going to be uploaded. So I actually leave Saturday. So I'll see you guys Saturday night, and hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode of Furry Fridays. I'm going to try to let this damn thing one more time so I can end in a suave and sophisticated manner. So let's see if I can do this. No. I'm going to end it the way I want to end it. I'm Zach Wilson, and I hope you enjoyed Furry Fridays. God, that sucked!